Ahmed, do you have anything on solidarity besides what Ed has shared?
Yes, thank you for that. I think it's really important for us to understand what's truly at stake. What's at stake is, again, the weaponization of our government, our taxpayer-funded government, to attack citizens or residents or others whose political opinions those in power don't like. And I want to add this, and I think many people don't know this, but Mahmoud Khalil's name was provided to the government by a third party. And these third parties, including Bitar, which is a well-known Zionist organization that has admitted to giving tens of thousands of names to the White House and to the government, is a very scary situation. I mean, we're talking brown shirts back in the 20s and 30s in Germany. We're talking about a group of people who are actively and publicly stating that they will weaponize the government to arrest and deport or otherwise penalize those whom they don't like. And the government plays along without any sort of oversight or any regulatory practices. And so there's constitutional abuses, but beyond that, there's this chilling effect on the street, on campuses, in our daily lives. I read yesterday about a Mexican family that the parents were on their way to attend a very important emergency medical procedure for their daughter who had a brain tumor. They were arrested on the way to that procedure and removed. 4 of their children are American citizens. That's the Orwellian environment in which we live. Ed is right. This isn't just about Mahmoud Khalil. Bullies don't stop when they have one success. Today we're talking about human rights terrorism, because that's all he is a human rights advocate. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about abortion rights terrorism, and climate activism terrorism, and gender rights activism terrorism. And the list will go on. They can slap the word terrorism on any political opinion they don't like and penalize it. I want to stress, and the good alderman here who left his feet away from us, but I feel and know that he didn't hear a word we said. And not just because I saw him fumbling on his phone the whole time and then leaving it after his screed, but because he basically used the time that he had to justify genocide and to justify constitutional abuses using the code word, the magical word Hamas. Because of that word, genocide is acceptable. Because of that word, constitutional abuses be damned, or constitutional rights be damned. This is really very, very dangerous. Yes, of course, if we were attacked by terrorists, we would fight back as America, but guess what? If we were occupied by a foreign military and our rights were abused, we would also fight back. And yes, of course, hostages needs to be returned from both sides, as you mentioned, Chairwoman. And there's thousands, by the way, on the Israeli side that are held, that were apprehended during the genocide and even before, many of whom are children and some of whom are American citizens. And finally, this is about the principle. It's not about the content. I'm not here to try to compel him or anyone else to agree with me on the matter. People are entitled in this country to their political opinions, even if they're sordid and terrible, as his are, in my opinion. What we're talking about here is that he has the right, and I have the right, to have these opinions without punishment from the White House or extrajudicial penalizing from those in power, without due process. That's what this resolution is really about. It's about protecting residents, citizens, and subjects of this country from these governmental abuses. In Skokie, and I'll close with this, in the 70s, when there was a march by the KKK, and this is a Jewish-heavy area at the time, at least, and maybe it still is now, the ACLU, sitting to my left, they fought for the right to do so. And by the way, many of those attorneys were Jewish American attorneys in the ACLU, and many of the donors were Jewish American donors. They didn't do this because they agreed with the KKK wearing Nazi uniforms and expressing fascism in a place where many are Holocaust survivors. It's because they believed in the importance of the principle that in this country, you can express your political opinion, whether we agree with it or not, and we can use our own freedoms to push back and explain why these opinions are problematic. And that's exactly what we're here to promote. Freedom of expression and protections for residents and citizens against the weaponization of government by third parties to do their ugly foreign lobbyist bidding. Thank you very much.